We live? Are we live? We are. Good morning and good afternoon. Welcome back to DCTV. My name is Drew Collins. Welcome back to DCTV. I'm still a little speechless. I'm still a little goofy. I'm still a little out of tune. Oh, yes. The Cincinnati Bengals have done it. They have brung Christmas home early on December 25th or 21st. Oh, best feeling we've had all season besides watching Joe Burrow take his first snaps. This is the best feeling I've had all season. I think all Bengals fans can react. I just want to make a little stream. I was just live 4 hours for the entire game, play by play. So if you want to go back and watch the full game, go back. I did the entire game, play by play, all game long. So if you haven't already, go check that out. It was a lot of fun and the craziest probably play by play I've done ever. It was insane to say the very best. It was if you're new around here, hit the sub button, leave a like, and share it with your friends and family. And I just want to celebrate a little bit. I won't be live long because I was just live for over 4 hours. But I just want to hop on here and just celebrate a little bit, kind of recap the game. So realistically, you look at the Steelers' offense. First half, it couldn't be any worse. What was it? 3 turnovers. Couldn't move the rock, running the ball. Couldn't move the rock, throwing the ball. I mean, everything that could went wrong in that offense. And I think the biggest thing, if I'm a Steelers fan, that I'm worried about is how one-dimensional that offense is. Now, I know Steelers fans are going to use the excuse that Benny Snell had to start and James Conner didn't because of, he's injured. But even when James Conner is healthy, that rushing attack is not good at all. And it makes your team very one-dimensional. And defenses are starting to realize that. For whatever reason, they couldn't realize that in the first 2 months of football, almost 3 months. The teams are realizing it, and you need to get that rushing game going. It's crazy because when you throw it, the offensive line is amazing. You guys block very well when throwing the ball, but when rushing that ball, I don't know what big of a difference there is. But man, you guys really struggle run blocking. It's so strange because you guys are so good pass blocking. So I don't know what's going on there. Next up, receivers. Deontay Johnson. I know he's had a lot of drops, most in the entire NFL. But he looked good. He bounced back. I know he tweaked it looks like he was dealing with some cramps or some thigh or leg injury during the game. But he's back. He's a good player. As long as he keeps his head on straight and keeps working, he'll be fine. Juju, you got to stop, man. Go back to the stream. I've said it multiple times. I don't hate Juju. He's 24 years old, 25 years old, and he has a very bright future in the NFL. But stop disrespecting teams. He puts a arrow on. He puts a target on the back of his jersey by doing that. And Steelers fans, any fans can't protect him. Even if he's your favorite player, you can't protect him. Him doing that puts such a target on his back. If you enjoy it, if you hate it, if you dislike it, whatever your thoughts are about it, it's going to end up getting him hurt. Guys, take it seriously. That is their second home. You disrespect that, you're disrespecting what they love and what they do for a living. What would you do if whatever you did, whatever you love most in your life, you did, and I made fun of them dancing in front of it and making a joke out of it? And then I get to hit you for free, or I get to hit you and get paid while doing it. Juju, you have a bright future. Stop. I know he's not going to. He's not going to stop TikToking because that's exactly what he wants. He wants attention. And he's going to keep doing it. But when it comes to that, he needs to stop for his own good. He's going to keep getting lit up. And the one of the things I've always talked about being a fan of sports, football, basketball, whatever it is, don't give a reason to make the opposing team more mad than they already are. A lot of these guys, they hate each other. It's Bengals versus Steelers. They don't like each other. They hate each other. Give another team a reason to want to beat you by doing something so stupid as a 10-second dance on a logo. That's idiotic and selfish. Think about your team. Once again, don't hate Juju. I think he has a very bright future in the NFL. What do you have, 1,400 yards and like 14 touchdowns his sophomore season? Future's still bright, man, but he's going to get hurt. and he's putting a target on his back and the rest of the Steelers' back. As a Bengal fan, I haven't seen that defense so pumped up for a game since probably 2016 and or 2015. It's been not weeks, not months, not days. It's been years since I've seen that team so hyped up. And it's because of Juju. So whatever your thoughts are about it, telling you right now, it pisses teams off. But receiving wise, your tight end got hurt. Can't think of his name right now. I'm having a brain fart. Can't think of his name. I apologize. But Jesse Bates lit him up, and I know he was having some back problems. I don't think he ever returned. So Eric Ebron. So hopefully he's all good. Yeah, offense, man, you just got to get that rushing game going. It's so one-dimensional. And those turnovers, it's been a rough month. You have a great coach in Mike Tomlin. He will turn it around. I still don't think you guys are the best team in the league. I never thought you did. I never thought you guys were better than the Kansas City Chiefs. Never did I ever say that. I still don't believe it, win or loss. But nonetheless, if you are going to compete in the playoffs and postseason, you cannot turn the ball over as much as you did. Moving on to your guys' defense. I mean, you got beat by a third-string quarterback, a second-string running back, a bunch of backup offense linemen, a second-string tight end. So you basically lost to our second string. Not going to lie. But I will say your defense, you're dealing with injuries. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. As a Bengals fan, I completely know your pain. Trust me, our entire team is basically out with the season. We have receivers out for the season, quarterbacks for the season. Alden Tate, starter. Joe Burrow, starter. Joe Mixon, starter. CJ Uzama, starter. Offensive line's been mixed around, but guys have been injured. Jonah Williams. You go to the defense, Geno Atkins, DJ Reader, both defensive tackle number 1, number 2. Trey Waynes, who would have been cornerback number 1. I mean, the list goes on. I'm not here to make excuses. I'm just letting you guys know. I know the pain. I know what it feels. There's nothing you can do about it except move on and next guy up. Trust me, I know. I've witnessed it this season. So injuries, it's really unfortunate. I know you guys have been a couple guys down, and it sucks, but next man up. Mike Tomlin will pick somebody that will pop up. Mike Tomlin's a great coach. Yeah, defensively, Joe Hayden, man, I know he's on the, flip side of his career, but boy, he did not look good today. He bounced back a little bit in the second half, but still, he got burnt a lot today. But he did look better in the second half. I will say, and you got to be realistic with yourself, Steelers fans, that game should have been more than 27 points. There was at least 3 to 4 times where we had wide open touchdowns down the field and it was underthrown. The play where Tyler Boyd got hurt with the concussion, that should have been a touchdown. He was 3 steps ahead of the safety and the corner, underthrown. The play with T. Higgins, there was 2 of them with T. Higgins. A play with A.J. Green. There was multiple plays where if you connect, it's 30-plus yards and or a touchdown. It should have been more than 27 points. You're lucky it was Ryan Finley, not Burrow. I will say that. So your secondary, a lot of broken coverages, a lot of people getting burnt. I know we have a great receiver group, better than most teams, but still, you guys were getting burnt like a crisp out there on that secondary. Moving into your interior, not bad. I mean, Bernard ran over you a good portion of the game. Imagine if that was Joe Mixon. I know you got Hayward and a bunch of other guys. That the interior defense has to step up. I mean, it just didn't look great. And I know it's great. It needs to step up. Thank you so much, AWOL. Get some AWOL hype in the chat. Thank you so much, AWOL. You've been a day one. You mean so much to the stream. Appreciate your donation. Merry Christmas. Stay happy, healthy, and have a great holiday, my brother. You've been a real one. Appreciate it, man. And you're right. Defense doesn't win games. It wins Super Bowls. And I guess in this case, this was our Super Bowl this season. So I agree with you. Nonetheless, also the outside, TJ Watt. I think he had a sack and a half, maybe 2 sacks. Besides those plays where he got the sack, I think TJ Watt's better than what he was tonight. And I will say this Bengals offensive line is a complete joke. And for the most part, we held up. A lot of those sacks or tackle for losses by Ryan Finley was not the offensive line's fault. It was Ryan Finley. He ran up in the pocket. He ran backwards. He didn't throw the ball away. A lot of QB3 mistakes that probably shouldn't have been sacks that were because, he read the play wrong. He read the line. He thought it was collapsing and panicked. I would say we have a pretty piss poor offensive line this season, probably bottom 5, bottom 10. And, I know you guys got to the quarterback a couple times, but I honestly think it's not because of the pressure. It's just because Finley made some mistakes. So I know you guys have an unbelievable front seven, one of the best in the NFL. I don't know where it was last night. Or not last night. I'm thinking, I guess it's past midnight, but I don't know where it was. Um, they hurt. I know, AWOL, they're hurt. AWOL, participate in the giveaway if you haven't already. If all of you are in here and you haven't participated to the giveaway, all you have to do is like the stream, subscribe if you haven't already, take a screenshot of your like and your sub, and send it either to my Twitter or my Instagram through DM, the screenshot, and I'll automatically enter you into a giveaway of a free DCTV merch shirt, probably a shirt. I just dropped merch today. If you want to check it out first, link in the description. I'll give you a free shirt or something free within the merch. All you got to do is leave a like, subscribe, screenshot it, and send that to either my Twitter or Instagram, and then obviously follow that social media. And I'll get to those later. So, but staying focused on the handout topic. Yeah, I mean, Steelers all the way around. Special teams, I guess I could talk about. Fine. Punting was great. Barry has a freaking cannon of a leg. Kicking, Mr. Automatic against the Bengals. He's never missed a single kick in his entire career. And Boswell, like, he's insane. I know you guys are better than what you've been this last month of football. I don't think you guys are top 3, top 5 in the league, but I think you guys are good enough to make the postseason, obviously, since you already clinched it. But it's going to be very interesting. Steelers versus Browns. Browns are probably licking their chops right now like, boy, this team is down. I will say one thing as a toll. Big Ben looks frustrated. And I know he's trying to keep those guys pumped. He's trying to get something going. But there is something right now in that locker room that is sitting uneasy between the guys. And I really have a feeling that it has to do with Juju. But even if it doesn't, something is up with that locker room, and it's causing you guys to lose. You got to figure it out. Now, save the best for the last. The Cincinnati Bengals, baby. Let's go. Bengals offensively. I mean, expectations have been low the rest of the season. I will say this works out perfect. We win against the Pittsburgh Steelers right before Christmas, and we don't lose our draft spot. We just won, and we don't lose our spot. We still stay at pick number 3. We still stay at 3. Because the next 2 teams, I forgot who they are. They have 4 wins. So because we only have 3, boom. So we beat them and we keep the draft spot. I just want to make that clear because so many people there was a few people in the chat were like, "Oh, we're gonna lose on Panay, Sewell. We're not gonna get our lineman. We're not gonna get our pick." Well, we won and we still have our pick right now, so it couldn't have gotten better than that. But moving on to our offense, expectations were low. Offensively, I mean, Giovanni Bernard, MVP of the game. He was a complete veteran. He looked like one. He played like one, and he led that offense to 27 points. He doesn't have the most amazing stats, but if you watch that game, the offense ran through him. Receiving, rushing, it didn't matter. His veteran experience is so vital to this young offense. With or without Joe Burrow, with or without Joe Mixon, he needs to be in this locker room. Giovanni Bernard, thank you for being a Cincinnati Bengal, and I hope you retire as one. Class act. With that being said, I think Brandon Allen lost his spot. Not that Ryan Finley played so much better than Brandon Allen, but he didn't turn the ball over, which was my very, very, very most important thing, and he won. I will be extremely upset if Brandon Allen gets the start next week. I think most people came in, including myself, like, oh, Ryan Finley starting. But number one, most important, he won. And number 2, he didn't turn the ball over There's no way in my mind that Brandon Allen gets the start for the rest of the season unless Finley gets hurt. He put his heart in the field and he played well. He might frustrate me with his pretty smile, bad or good. He smiles and he really shines those teeth. But yeah. Nonetheless, I think Ryan Finley is our guy for the rest of the year. Um, Bernard, I don't think Mixon's going to come back the rest of the year. I'd be really surprised. I mean, how many weeks do we have left? I mean, not much. So we'll have to see if they hold him out, if they bring him back for a little bit of action. Receivers, we got to check on Tyler Boyd. They honestly might bench him for the rest of the year. He hit his head on the back of the turf, slung it pretty hard. That's definitely a concussion. I mean, if it's that bad, don't bring him back and risk it more. But at the same time, if he's good, we're gonna need him the rest of the season. So, and his replacement, Alex Erickson, stepped up. Did his thing. Didn't really do much. He was wide open down the field for like a 30-yard plus completion and got underthrown. That was another huge underthrow by Finley. He's gonna have to work on that deep ball for sure because it should have been more than 27 points. Hopefully Tyler Boyd. AJ Green, I just still don't think he's going to be a Bengal next year. I still don't think he's playing like he used to be. He got overthrown once in that game, but still, I mean, he's doing very little out there. Very, very little is he creating space or getting open. I understand he got overthrown once, but still, what do you have? 1 reception, 2 receptions? He's just not the same player he once was, unfortunately. So I think his career is coming to an end here with the Bengals. Who else am I missing? T. Higgins was really quiet in the second half, but nonetheless, I mean, he is going to have such a bright future in here in the Cincinnati and the NFL. 21 years old, playing like a veteran out there, hanging onto the ball in traffic, creating space, curl route, slant route, out route, give and go. I mean, he is all over the field creating space and getting open for the team. He made a bunch of huge crucial first downs. I think almost every reception he had was for a first down. So T. Higgins, amazing. And if Tyler Boyd's out, Higgins, number 2, he'll get a taste of what it's going to taste like next year when AJ leaves. And if we don't bring anybody in, that's going to be the one. It's going to be Boyd and Higgins, 1 and 2. So I think this is good for him. I think the worst thing, I think it's bad that Boyd is going to be out, but it's going to give Higgins a taste of what that number 2 spot's going to taste like. Did they bench Tyler Boyd for the rest of the year? Did they really say that already? Really? Uh, Beating the Steelers will cool Zach Taylor's hot seat. Those players, he still believes in the coach. That's a great point. Let me talk about coaching before I go to defense. What Ben Baby just said right there, which I'm not gonna lie, not the biggest fan of Ben Baby. You can put it out there on record, but you don't know who he is. He just reports for the Bengals. You know me, DCTV family. I keep it real with every single one of you. Um, but with Zach Taylor, I still think the Bengals need to weigh out their options. He won 1 more game. Okay, he's won 5 games in 2 years. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. I still don't think he's the answer for the future. I have to see more. But Ben Baby might be right. I already thought that there wasn't enough to get him fired this season. I always said, you can go back a month ago when he was real on the hot seat. I said, he won't get fired this offseason. The Bengals are going to give him 1 more year. Why? Because of injuries. They're not going to fire him in 2 years. I think he's on a 5-year contract anyway. So I was going to, look how long they held on to Lewis. But I always said I think they're going to give him another year. And with this win, I think that ups that percentage even more. I think they need to continue looking elsewhere, though, and weighing out their options. But I do think he'll get another shot next year, even though I'm not the biggest fan. But yes, for about 90% of the game, 85% of the game, Zach Taylor coached a pretty great game. I was getting fed up with the HB draws, and that field goal decision was awful. A field goal decision or field goal from 55 yards out, he should have went for it on that fourth down, or pinned him. He knew he wasn't gonna make that, so wasn't a fan of that. But other than that, and the consecutive HB draws back to back to back to back to back instead of throwing the ball, was a little frustrating. But honestly, outside of that, he coached probably the best game of his career, if not one of the best. Now, defensive coordinator Lou, I'm still hashtag fire Lou. He coached a heck of a game. I mean, the blitz, the pressure, that was the first time Bengals got pressure on a quarterback almost all season long. It was completely ridiculous how much pressure we were getting. I was completely shocked, honestly. I mean, we haven't seen pressure. We haven't seen a quarterback hit the turf more than 3 times an entire game, I think, this entire season. And he hit the turf like 3 times on almost every drive. Did he save his job position? Possibly. I still think he's not the fit. I still don't like Lou. I still want to see other guys in that defensive coordinator scheme. I still don't like him. But, hey, he might have saved his job. Who knows? Now moving on to our actual defense. Defensive line and front seven. Defense in general. Best game all season. I wish this defense was here when Joe Burrow was healthy. We would have won a lot more games. Like I've stated multiple times, I haven't seen a Bengals defense as motivated as this since 2016 or 2015. Shout out to Juju. I haven't seen a team so eager to hit somebody and lay the wood. I mean, we hit guys hard all game long. All game long. Super motivated, hard-hitting, and ready to play football. Came out the gates ready to go. Came out of halftime sluggish. That's what one thing that said to me. Outside of coming out of halftime sluggish, they did great all around. But defensive line specifically, Carl Lawson, he just earned himself a contract. He was already the best statistical defensive lineman for the Bengals all season, but he hasn't been as great as I expect him to be. I expect him to have a little bit of a better season than he's had this season, to be honest. I really had a high ceiling for him, and he hasn't eclipsed it for me this year. But this game earned him another contract because he is on an expiring contract. This game specifically earned him another contract. So when he gets re-signed, this will be a big reason why. Sam Hubbard had a couple big batted down passes. He's still not getting home and getting to the quarterback, unfortunately. He is doing a lot better for the tackle for losses. I think he's became a lot better at rush defense than he has pass defense. Or pass rush, I'm not going to lie. But tipping the ball, he does great. He's looking like Carlos Dunlap out there being a tip magician, getting the ball and deflecting it when the quarterback's timing it perfectly. But still, there's still some more we can work on with Sam Hubbard. But he's young. I'm not going to panic. Didn't see much of Khalid Kareem, the rookie out of Notre Dame. Was kind of shocked. Interior defense, Geno Atkins out for the rest of the season. I think his career is over with Cincinnati. Who stepped up? Hunt, the backup. I think he's 6'8", 6'9". He needs to see more snaps. He's in there for a sample size of every single game. And every single game I see him in there making plays, getting to the quarterback, getting to the running back, tackle for loss, deflections because he's 6'8", 6'9". I want to see more Hunt, and I'm really surprised we haven't. Mike Daniels, a really good game. Tackle for loss, stuff in the run lanes. A great game by really all the interior guys. Christian Covington, I know he got hurt. Hopefully he's healthy and okay. I don't know how many more interior defense lines we can lose. DJ Reader, Geno. Is Christian Covington next? I mean, come on. But interior rush, for what it is, for being defense tackle number 3, 4, and 5, those guys were playing like 1 and 2 out there. So I'm gonna give a round of props to the interior rush. Linebackers without Logan Wilson played great. A lot of good stuff for Jermaine Pratt. Should have had an interception. Or no, was it Bynes? I think it was Bynes. Pratt, I didn't see too much of, but he made a few good tackles like usual. Bynes, I think he was the one that had the interception just fly through his hands. He should have had it, but a really good game by him. I think he's the one that blew up. Who'd he blow up? Benny Snell in the backfield when they went. It was either like a 3rd and short or a 4th and short, and they did a draw. And and he just rocked him in the backfield. That was awesome. Going to our secondary, in my opinion, this is the best game I've ever watched of Darius Phillips. And this season has been such a tough year for Darius Phillips. I feel like he gets burnt at least 2 or 3 times a game, downfield, big plays, and I felt like he really stepped up today. So a good game by Darius Phillips. I think the best of his career, even though he didn't get an interception, which he should have. He should have had a pick too. Nonetheless, I still think this was the best game of his career. What about Mackenzie Alexander? I don't think it was the best game of his career, but he played pretty solid. He's a great slot corner. I hope we resign him, because I know we signed Trey Waynes to a 4 or 5 year deal, and we only signed Mackenzie Alexander for a 1 year prove it deal. I hope we pay him, because he has been phenomenal in the slot. When he gets out of the slot, he'll get burned a few times, but those plays against Juju he made were spectacular. He made that big play on Juju, 3rd down. He went over there and flexed on him, got a penalty, but they crossed each other out, so it was a replay, 3rd down. They went right back to Juju, and he did the same thing again. He knocked it out, redeemed himself, went over there to the sideline, and gave Zach Taylor a hug. Hey, that's my bad. I got you. I redeemed you. That shows me heart and passion, and I really want to see him in a Bengals uniform again next year. And plus, he'll finally be able to get a double up with Trey Waynes. They both have played in Minnesota together, and now Cincinnati once Trey Waynes comes back after his injury. I want to see those two guys as a duo. And then William Jackson III, I think he had an average William Jackson III game, got burnt once or twice, dropped an interception, and had a deflection or two. I really think Trey Waynes will take that CB1 spot over Jackson. Some people might call me crazy. But nonetheless, he gets burnt once or twice a game. He'll drop an interception like he did today, but he'll get some deflections as well. A good game from William Jackson. Von Bell, probably the best game of his Bengal career, or probably second maybe. I am so ecstatic we brought him over from the New Orleans Saints. If you haven't already, after the stream, go watch my Von Bell video I did probably 6 months ago before the season started, before he even got to play a snap as a Bengal. I said this was such a great move by the Bengals. Him and Jesse Bates are going to be the best safety duo in the NFL for the next 5 years. And it took them a little while to warm up with each other, but boy, Von Bell in the box is a freaking man among boys. I mean, he's throwing around linemen, he's throwing around fullbacks and running backs. Von Bell's great. And that hit on Juju, it's going to be all over on social media. It's going to be everywhere, blown up. He said before the game, don't dance on the logo before the game. I'm going to take disrespect to it. It's disrespectful, and I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit him like I do, like I play football every day. And what did he do? He blew him up so hard that Juju fumbled the ball. That is going to be one of my favorite Bengal moments for a long time. And I'm so happy we signed him to a 3 or 4 year deal. I mean, Von Bell is such an exciting player to watch. I'm so ecstatic with him. JB3, another dropped interception. I think this is the 3rd game in a row where he's had a dropped interception, but he's played phenomenal. That hit he put on Eric Ebron was freaking crazy. Didn't see as much as Jesse Bates as I normally do, but sometimes that's a good thing. I feel like you see so much of Jesse Bates because he's making up for other players' mistakes. So I feel like it's not necessarily a bad thing. I don't see Jesse Bates all over the field. I did see him make a touchdown saving tackle. I believe it was Juju that made that play. Same thing with Chase Claypool. I think he made both of those touchdown saving tackles. So we did see a little bit of him. But I feel like as much as I love Jesse Bates, my favorite defensive player on the team, I feel like not seeing him as much is actually a good sign because he's not saving other defenders' butts. Any players am I missing? Any other players I'm missing, offense or defense? I'll go to special teams. The former Browns kicker, Siebert or Cyber, however you guys want to say it. I've said both ways, and people have said I'm wrong both ways. So whatever it is, he might have taken Randy Beerbelly Bullock's spot, even with the missed 55-yard field goal. I completely don't blame him on that. That's 100% on coaching. Zach Taylor should have never went for that in the first place. That kick should have never been attempted. It wasn't even close. Nonetheless, he might finish out the season. I wouldn't be surprised with the Bengals. Will he sign a contract in the offseason with the Bengals? I would want the Bengals to weigh out other options. think Young Ho Koo from the Atlanta Falcons, the NFL leading scorer, I think he's going to be in free agency. What if the Bengals make a big boy move and sign him? I don't know. I think we need to weigh out our options, but he might have earned his spot for the rest of the season with it, even with the missed field goal. Punting wise, Kevin Huber. Kevin Huber has been such a long time Bengal, and outside of Sean Williams and Giovanni Bernard and Geno Atkins and AJ Green, I think he's been on the Bengals the longest, and I think it might be his time to go. Love the guy. Love going to Bengals games and hearing Huber, but I think he's lost a little bit of his leg. There was a few punts where like just other guys in the league, including the Steelers punter, they're kicking 20 more yards past than what he does. He's very passive aggressive with his punting, and I don't know if he just he's older and he lost his leg or what. But I really think we need to draft 7th round pick, undrafted free agent. We gotta shore up this special teams in the offseason. Kicker and punter. I love Kevin Huber, but I honestly think it's his time to go, and we gotta look elsewhere. Oh, offensive line. Early, how did I forget that? Um, some people might disagree, but I think they played phenomenal. I mean, they gave up a few sacks, but that's one of the best front sevens in the league, probably top 3 in the league, and they kept Ryan Finley pretty clean. I will say, you might see them in the stat sheet, some sacks, some tackle for losses. Majority of those sacks Ryan Finley took was his fault. He stepped up in the pocket when he shouldn't have. He crumbled under pressure when there wasn't too much pressure. A couple of times he ran up in the pocket to escape the pocket, and there was no reason to. Or he ran out, and he shouldn't have. So I feel like the offensive line is what it is. We're going to continue attacking it in the offseason. But for what we had out there against what we were going against, I think they held themselves very well. There was a few rushing plays where it just got blown up, not much blocking. But boy, were there a lot more positive rushing plays when it came to blocking than what I saw. I think Quentin Spain has saved him a spot for another contract this offseason. We obviously brought him in about 2 months ago from the Buffalo Bills when they released him. I think he'll get another contract. I know he's 28, but that's what we need. We need some age on this team. So I think we bring Spain back, honestly, on the guard position. Jonah Williams comes back healthy. We'll see. I think Trey Hopkins stays. You bring in Penei Sewell on that right tackle, and then you bring in another guard in free agency. Joe Thuney from the Patriots or somebody. There's going to be a lot of free agent guys, and you really shore up that offensive line to make sure it's good when Burrow comes back. Look, I'll say it and I'll say it again. The future is bright in Cincinnati. I know it's sometimes pretty cloudy and hard to see, but stay positive, Houday Nation, DCTV family. We're good, okay? It was a lot of fun today. I hope everyone has a very, very Merry Christmas. Shout out to all the fam members. Shout out to the subscribers. Shout out to the donators. Shout out to all the people who follow me on my socials and watch all these streams. Make sure you go make sure you go in the giveaway. Go join the giveaway. All you got to do is leave a like on this stream. Hit the subscribe button. Take a screenshot of the stream that you liked and subscribe. Send it to my Twitter and or Instagram. And whichever one you send it to, make sure you follow. Easy. Like, sub, DM me on Instagram or Twitter with the screenshot, and you'll be entered into a free DCTV merch giveaway. I just dropped my merch line today, so if you want to check it out, I'll send the winner will get something free. So make sure you do that if you haven't already. Any last words anybody has to say? Christmas comes early. That's right, DCTV family. That's right. The O-line did better than Baltimore. Nice well was a must. Yep. Yo, call me on Instagram. I'm not going to take any calls right now because I've been live for almost 5 hours. So I'm sorry about that. But I got you next time whenever I go live next. Just hit me up and I'll get you live next. I'm just completely destroyed. I was live for 4 hours and 15 minutes on the other stream, and I'm live for 30 minutes. So I've been live for 5 hours today. So I appreciate all the support. Smash the absolute crap out of the like button. Join the family if you haven't already. And Houday Nation, Stay you, stay true, and as always, Hoo day.